Hello there, I am the one, the only Flintworth, and welcome to Creature Creator, the show where I help you design monsters and encounters inspired by your favorite characters. Today we are exploring the gaming possibilities of DC's Comics' legendary Dark Knight, Batman.
0933, Make mommy proud, Jason.
Be my victim. Stop right there and surrender.
Created by Bill Finger and Bob Kane in 1939, Batman has been one of the major staples of DC Comics for over 80 years. He has confronted just about every possible adversary under the sun, teamed up with all kinds of heroes, and there is yet to have been a scenario that the Bat couldn't form a plan around. Whether it is Bruce Wayne, Dick Grayson, or Terry McGinnis wearing the cape and cowl, there are no shortage of stories for fans to fall in love with, making it no surprise so many of them have tried to emulate Batman in our hobby today. Just about everyone has at least one story about an edgy loner rogue that some player tried to bring to the table, complete with their own tragic past and brooding tendencies. I will admit, I was guilty of just that with the first hero I ever created, and for a time, I hated myself and others for doing just that. But in hindsight, I can't help but ask myself, why? When you really think about it, the Batman formula is really inviting for newbies. For one, it means having no powers, which helps if they are intimidated by a game's rules on magic or what have you. 2, they are commonly orphans, which is a pretty easy backstory to establish. And 3, their status as loners allows them a decent reason to be quiet for most conversations if they themselves are shy. As fellow gamers, storytellers, as friends, it's our responsibility to help these would-be defenders of the night become the players we know they can be. And I'm going to show you with Batman how we can do just that. For starters, let's tackle how to bring the Dark Knight into your games. From a player standpoint, I would recommend the Masks A New Generation line as a good starting point for a group wanting to play as superheroes. The Janus playbook, in particular, is where your Bat fans should be directed. Otherwise, if your group is more D&D inclined, multi-classing a monk with an artificer would get you the closest to recreating your favorite Batman moments. And if anyone gives them a hard time trying to bring Batman into a fantasy setting, just remind them that canonically, Batman has worked with a slew of magical allies, including John Constantine, Zantara, and even Frankenstein. On the NPC front, GMs will have to get a little creative when integrating their takes on Batman into a game. Unlike players, game masters can very easily make their NPC become the indomitable hero Batman is often joked to be. To prevent this, when making your hero stat sheet, I would recommend focusing on one of the main ideals of the Dark Knight: to always be improving. Because as impressive as Batman's skills and abilities can be, he only got to that point because of his commitment to his training. See, you can claim all you want how overpowered or convenient Batman's gadgets and vehicles can be. But what really makes him a hero is his experience to make the most of those tools. Look at Bruce Wayne, for instance. All of his martial art abilities, his scientific knowledge, his skills of deduction are a direct result of his boundless determination to be the protector that he needed the night his parents were killed. And even when he came back to Gotham, Bruce quickly discovered that those abilities alone would not be enough for his war on crime. For years, Batman has had to get used to working with other heroes, to form alliances, to ultimately build this family of crime fighters in Gotham. That background, of constant growth, of learning to network with others. This is what I had in mind when I put together the 5e stat block for my Cape Crusader, the Falcon. Like Batman, the Falcon's stat block comes equipped with practically a laundry list of skills and abilities he has honed from his years of studying before becoming a crime fighter. However, this man is neither superpowered nor statistically perfect, leaving plenty of reasons for him to want to turn to other heroes to help save the day. We can and should follow this theme of discovery as we go about creating our encounters for our would-be do-gooders. Say, for instance, you wanted to set up a classic robbery for your players to thwart. The option to go in swinging, while the simplest, is probably not the safest route, especially if your criminals have taken hostages. And naturally, the next best option would be to go in stealthily. However, there is no reason why you can't go and encourage a mix of both strategies if you have a full team available. Whether it be by your encouragement or their own initiative, this challenge actually offers the perfect opportunity for your Cape Crusaders to assess the situation, learn more about their enemies, and formulate a coordinated attack with their allies, which potentially could lead to you creating this experience to help build up the confidence of your more timid players. And what's cool is that the same thing can be done with encounters that are more intense from the get-go, like running a chase scene. You ever notice how many times Batman's enemies get away from him? It's quite a bit, and for good reason. If the villains were caught on the first try, the adventure would end right there. There would be no chances for Batman to mull over why he failed, why his skills or tech wasn't good enough, and what he needs to do to catch the crooks the next time he meets them. Like, say, giving himself a kick-ass turbo-powered car that comes equipped with just the right tools designed by him and his team to finally bring the villains to justice. Ow, who am I kidding? No player wants to experience that kind of payoff. Am I right? Joking aside, whether you use my Falcon NPC, which you can grab a copy of the stat block, by the way, down in the description, or with heroes of their own design, you need to ensure your players discover the right message in the end. Batman can and has been many things for fans around the world. He can be goofy at times, scary, funny, and whatever the hell Clooney was. But no matter the incarnation, he ultimately is a symbol of justice for his city. I feel like a lot of creators tend to forget that. They get so caught up with the grittiness, the darkness of the vigilante, that they gloss over the heart of the man beneath the mask. If you take away that moral code, you take away what centers characters like Batman, what keeps him from becoming like one of his villains, like the Joker, Two-Face, or Scarecrow. Or worse yet, you turn him into the caricature of the broody asshole that everyone says he is. Batman's greatest adventures always includes the moment where his values are justified, where his determination is finally rewarded, where he proves that even on the darkest of nights, good will triumph over evil. You can see this from the comics to the animated series to even his latest film, The Batman, which is arguably his darkest movie to date. And after seeing it twice, I can also confirm that it's one of the best Batman films to date. But that's besides the point. Your players need the chance to see this too, to see the warmth that lies beneath the darkness, to see that it is possible for someone to live through a nightmare, to become a master of what they fear most, to ultimately be the hero they wished was there for them on the darkest day of their lives. The sooner your players recognize this, the better. Because heroes are not the only ones shaped by the dark. There are plenty of monsters more than willing to come take back the night, regardless of whether the heroes are ready for them or not. Hey there! Thanks for watching! Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Hope you got something a little bit out of it. Either way, if you had a good time or liked what you saw, I would highly encourage, not for any biased reason whatsoever, to subscribe. stay in the loop with me here. I'm planning to do more of these as the year goes on. Look forward to the Riddler one in 2 weeks from now. And yeah, if you have any other ideas or suggestions, I would love to hear them. And otherwise, if you don't happen to stick around till the next one, that's cool. That's great. I love you anyway. You're awesome. And yeah, take care.